All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a strategy with a claim so bold, you kind of have to hear it. It's called the Ghost Broker strategy, and it's a blueprint for potentially making $100,000 in just 30 days. And yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking, because I thought it too. 100 grand in a month? Seriously? It sounds completely nuts, right? More like something out of a movie than a real-world plan. But believe it or not, the claim gets even crazier. Because the entire thing is designed to be done with zero capital. That's right, no investment, no ad budget, no starting funds whatsoever. The only thing you're putting on the table is your own sweat and effort. So how in the world is that even possible? Well, the answer means we have to completely change how we think about making money. See, you're not going to build a business from the ground up to do this. That takes forever. The secret, the absolute key, is arbitrage. You're not creating new value out of thin air. You're finding value that's already there, just hidden and totally ignored. And that leads us to the heart of the whole strategy. It's all built around this hidden gold mine, a secret resource that tons of businesses are literally sitting on top of, but they treat it like it's worthless. That gold mine? It's what we call dead leads. Now, these aren't just random people. These are individuals who, at one point, actively raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested in your expensive service. But for whatever reason, bad timing, lost follow-up, the sale just never happened. To the business, they're a write-off. To you, they're pure gold. And this is why it's such an incredible shortcut. Just think about it for a second. Trying to get new customers is crazy expensive, and it takes forever. You got to build trust from scratch. But with dead leads, the business already paid to acquire them. They already know the brand, and your only cost is your own hustle. You get to jump right over the hardest, most expensive part of the game. So let's get down to brass tacks. That $100,000 figure isn't just some pie-in-the-sky number. It's actually based on a really specific, predictable formula. Think of it like the mathematics of a heist. The first number you need to know is this one, $500,000. Now, hold on, that's not what you're making. That's the total revenue you need to generate for the businesses you're working with. I know, it sounds like a massive number, but just hang with me here. Your piece of that pie is a very generous 20% commission. See, you're not an employee begging for a paycheck. You're a partner who's basically finding them free money. And 20% of that $500,000 goal, well, that comes out to a nice round $100,000 for you. But how do you actually get to that $500,000 in sales? This is where it gets surprisingly simple. The target is just 20 sales. That's it. Not hundreds, not thousands. Just 20 closed deals total across all of your clients. And this table just lays out the simple beauty of the math. You're going to target high-ticket businesses. We're talking solar panels, big home renovations, stuff like that. Where one sale is worth, say, 25 grand, your 20% cut of that is $5,000 per deal. You multiply that by the 20 sales you need, and bingo, there's your 100 grand. It's not magic, it's just math. Okay, so the math makes sense, but how do you actually pull this off in the real world in just 30 days? This isn't just theory, it's a very detailed, week-by-week game plan. So here it is, the 30-day plan at a glance. We've broken it down into 4 distinct one-week phases. Week 1 is the hunter phase. Week 2 is the resurrection. Week 3 is the triage. And you finish with week 4, the collection. Let's dig into what you're doing each week. Week 1, you are the hunter. Your only mission is to find those high-ticket local businesses and make them an offer they literally can't refuse. You tell them, I will work your old dead leads for free. You only pay me a commission if I make you money. It's a zero-risk proposition for them. The goal is to sign 3 clients who each have a list of about 1,000 of these forgotten leads. All right, week 2 is when the real grind begins. We call this the resurrection phase. You don't need any fancy software. Your phone and an email account will do. You'll work with each business to cook up an irresistible, time-sensitive offer. And then you just get to work, manually reaching out to every single one of those 3,000 leads. And your message needs to look something like this. It's not some weak, hey, just checking in email. No way. It is a powerful, direct, no-brainer offer. It gives them a very real, very valuable reason to respond right now. This kind of message is designed to cut through all the noise and get a fast response. Now, let's be real. The vast majority of people are not going to reply, and that is totally fine. We're not expecting them to. We are fishing for just a tiny 5 to 10% who say, yes, I'm interested. But out of 3,000 people, that's still 150 to 300 warm replies hitting your inbox. You've officially struck gold. Which brings us to week 3, the triage. Your role here is incredibly simple and focused. And listen close. You are not the salesperson. You are not trying to close the deal. Your one and only job is to take those positive replies and book a solid sales appointment for the client's actual sales team. The goal for the week is to get 60 appointments on the calendar. And then in week 4, it all pays off. This is the collection. Of those 60 appointments you booked, it's pretty standard for a professional sales team to close about a third of them, especially since these are warm, reactivated leads. That 1 in 3 close rate gets you exactly 20 closed deals. And, as we already know from the math, those 20 deals equal your $100,000 payout. So, when you step back and look at it, why is this strategy so powerful? How does it manage to sidestep all the normal, painful parts of starting a business? Let's break down the mechanics of the getaway. It really comes down to these 3 killer advantages. First, you have 0 risk-finding customers. The leads are already there. Second, you need 0 capital. You're literally trading your time and effort for commission. And third, and this is the big one, you have insane leverage. You're using the client's reputation, their proven service, and their expert sales team to do all the heavy lifting. You're just the spark that lights the fire. But let's be perfectly clear about one thing. This strategy is simple, but it is not easy. This is not some get-rich-quick scheme. It demands fearless outreach, getting told no a lot, and an incredible amount of focused, grinding work. The plan is simple. The execution is hard. Which really leaves us with one final fascinating question. When you strip everything else away and just look at the pure math, if you have 0 money but an insane work ethic, could a strategy like this be the single most direct mathematical path to completely changing your life in 1 month? It's something to think about.